to the pressures of the last day by now, as well as his experiences in the last 2 years with Manchester City. It became a pretty regular occurrence at Oldham, so he's aware of the pitfalls of dangerous opposition and misinformation from other games. Ironically, the year that Oldham went down, one of the results that they were relying on was Ipswich's visit here. It finished goalless, a score that would be good enough for Manchester City today. But anyone who thinks that it will be straightforward reckons without the competitive instinct of Graham Souness, who has yet to field the same team twice since he came here. And after last week's defeat at Crystal Palace, out go Lee Carsley, who angered the manager with his sending off, Per Franson and Craig Short. Short, a target of Manchester City earlier this season, misses a reunion with his former Everton boss Royal because of a thigh strain, and in comes Simon Grayson, Marlon Brooms and David Dunn. Gary Flitcroft and Ashley Ward are both former Manchester City players.
Well, what a big game, Rob. You have to say, our Blackburn going to be up there. I've just seen Colin Henry down there. He certainly felt so. 4-4-2, Kelly in goal. Grayson, Daly and Brooms. Big game for Brooms. Hartness left back, 4 across the middle, McAteer on the right, Duff on the left, Dunn, Flitcroft through the middle, and up front Ashley Ward, the target man, with a classy Janssen just off him.
These are the players named by Joe Royal for the most important match of his 2-year tenure. The unfortunate Gerard Beekins doesn't make the date after tweaking a hamstring in training on Monday, so the number of starters who figured in the Wembley promotion of a year ago is down to 5, as his replacement Jamie Pollock didn't figure. Lee Crooks, who did, takes Pollock's place on the bench today. Richard Jobson and Danny Tiato have become more established regulars this season, a campaign that's seen Mark Kennedy, Robert Taylor and Spencer Pryor added to the squad. Pryor hasn't yet been on the losing side since his move to Main Road.
Well, Manchester City, make no mistake, the nerves will be jangling. What a game in prospect, what a match. The impressive Weaver in goal, 4 across the back, Edgehill right, Tiato strong down the left. And the 2 key players for me, Jobson and Pryor, can they keep out Janssen and Ward? Whitley on the right, Pollock, Horlock still in the middle, Kennedy's been brilliant this year, left-hand side, and up front, Robert Taylor and Sean Goater.
Well, it's turned out nice again in Blackburn, but they're not bothered about the weather down there. Nicky Weaver, who's never really one to hide his feelings, an exuberant character. Sean Goater smiling, trying to look relaxed, but in a way you'd expect them to be churning up inside. They'd almost be inhuman if they weren't a bag of nerves waiting in the tunnel.
They just want to get out there, Rob, don't they? They want to get out there, the noise will hit them, praying for the ref to blow the whistle. And after about, well, a couple of minutes, the nerves, the adrenaline, it starts to ease off.
Richard Edgehill and Gary Flitcroft, once teammates at Main Road, now lead out their respective teams. And the atmosphere here reaching boiling point. Many City fans inside the stadium, many out as well. All praying, hoping that the point they need to reach the promised land is within their reach. And it's 4 years and 2 days since Manchester City's last Premiership match, a 2-2 draw against Liverpool, and Jason McAteer was part of that Liverpool side that bade farewell to Manchester City from the Premiership. A substitute for Liverpool that day was a man who's hoping to steer Manchester City back into the promised land. Mark Kennedy, a former teammate of McAteer and Steve Hartness at Anfield. His last Football League match, referee Terry Heilbron, and it's his first ever at Ewood Park.
Yeah, nice to see Terry. Suntanned again, he has more holidays than Alan Wicker. Good ref. Lets it run, Rob. You know, he won't be, you know, he'll blow for it if it's a serious challenge, but he'll always try and play advantage.
Well, the fans won't be bothered about their suntans today. In addition to everything else that they normally bring to games, they've brought their mobile phones and their radios to stay in touch with events elsewhere. Spare batteries as well, I'm sure. As much tension on the terraces and in the stands, where the manager and the chairman will worry and fret as on the pitch. And some are showing anxiety already, and the game hasn't even kicked off yet.
I tell you what, Rob, the old pitch is bumpy and bobbly as well.
And yet officially it's the best pitch in the division. First Division Groundsman of the Year was won by the head of Blackburn's ground staff. And Manchester City are kicking towards their own fans in this first half and get the game underway. And Blackburn immediately charging in with the challenges that make it quite evident that this is no end-of-season stroll for them. Blackburn quite wounded by the fact that they've been underachievers this season. The other First Division promotion issue was settled here when Charlton got the point they needed to clinch the championship, and Crystal Palace was celebrating against Blackburn last week when they survived in this division. They're a bit sick of being the supporting act to other teams' parties.
Yeah, I just feel as well, Rob, it's an absolute packed house here, and Graham Souness will be installing these players. Look, the celebrations Charlton had, I don't want to see it again here at home.
Edgehill getting caught in the sandwich, and the ball hit by Ashley Ward against Jamie Pollock for a Blackburn throw. Pollock restored to the starting lineup in the absence of Gerard Beekins, who'd done well in that midfield holding role. The absence of Beekins, something of a blow for Manchester City today. Pollock, a decent replacement to have around though. Could have left City earlier in the season for Wigan, but with them now on the brink of a return to the Premiership, I'm sure he's delighted he stayed.
Flitcroft in, a flash there on Taylor.
Player who had 5 years at Main Road, was there as a supporter when they clinched promotion at Wembley against Gillingham last season, but could do them down here today. There's Flitcroft, and Janssen was coming back from an offside position. Taylor up for it against Marlon Brooms. This is Brooms' third start since Graham Souness took over. He's been troubled by a knee injury of late.
How Joe Royle would be thinking, come on, an early goal just to settle the nerves.
This is Edgehill. Now Jeff Whitley. Taylor. And Pollock just couldn't bring it under control for the shot.
Every time City go near that goal, the crowd behind the goal, the City crowd, they're out their seats.
Well, a flick on here, and Ashley Ward is onside. The former Manchester City man produces a fine save from Weaver.
Wow, Rob, what a chance for Ashley Ward. And when we watch again, it's his first touch. It takes him away from Weaver. Beats the offside trap. Watch this. It just goes wide rather than towards goal. Just getting struggling. He's struggling for time there. Edgehill getting back. And what a let-off for City. This touch here, that's the problem. Now he comes back in his good right foot, gets a strike away. Weaver, impressive form again.
Nicky Weaver doing what he had to do, and Kennedy here gets the flick on, and Taylor just can't get there. Good goalkeeping by Kelly.
Well, Taylor's a big lad, isn't he? He stretches his right leg. Kelly committed himself, flying from the goal. End-to-end stuff here. And Taylor, any flick at all. And this goes over the goalkeeper. Kelly, well, what a good decision. Brave.
Both goalkeepers making good early contributions. Weaver settling himself with a save. And Alan Kelly, who's kept clean sheets in his last 4 games against Manchester City when he was with Sheffield United, coming out to meet Robert Taylor there. Nicky Weaver is absolutely desperate to test himself against the best in the Premiership.
Oh, what a season he's had. Fabulous. Ashley Ward, though, will be disappointed.
It's Tiato with a free kick, which Jobson meets and knocks back towards Gota. It was Flitcroft initially who got a crucial touch to that. And this is Richard Edgehill. Spencer Pryor had got forward, but this is Kennedy. And he gets his cross beyond McAteer towards Gota, and it bounces over the head of Taylor and Pryor, who are both there lurking for the opportunity.
Well, the 2 wide men here are going to be, well, who's going to have the best one? Kennedy or Duff? This time Kennedy. Left by Gota, look at this. Pryor and Taylor both going for the same ball.
Well, although a point will be good enough, Joe Royle insisted before the game that they would go for the win. We know no other way, he said. Pollock caught by Flitcroft.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice tough battle between Pollock, who loves to get his foot in. Flitcroft's been buzzing early on in this match. Just catches the heels here of Pollock. Pollock gets his body in the way. Just wondered if he's just catching a little breather here, Rob. It's frantic first 5 minutes, taking his time getting his boot on. Joro just wondering about that Ashley Ward chance. Then a minute later, when Pryor and Gota are going for the same ball, missed it.
Well, they're making the atmosphere like a home game. Around 7,000 here officially, but you can bet there are pockets of one or two more who've managed to somehow squeeze their way into the area supposed to be occupied by Blackburn fans. Brooms with a header clear. There's Jobson. Kennedy. Cleared by Duff. This is Damien Duff, who picked up Blackburn's Player of the Year award before the match. Flitcroft. This is Christian Daly. Now Grayson.
City again pushing up, Rob. Got to be careful. This is not the game to push up and get caught.
There's Daly. That was Horlock. This is Duff. Richard Edgehill. Now Tiato.
What a challenge. Teddy Hilbron just pulling it back for the first one. Tiato, the Aussie, strong, tough. It's going to have to be today. Rovers are up for this.
And Stockport leading Nottingham Forest by a goal to nil. Aaron Wilbraham has scored that after 4 minutes.
There's a few have made the short trip from Manchester, couldn't get tickets. And well, they'll see a bit of the game, not too much. They've not been drinking with the balance. It's a fair old drop.
Well, those who told ticketless fans not to travel were always going to be wasting their breath, but the limited view that those fans can see just behind the Walker Steel stand is just about the 18-yard area that Manchester City are defending. So if they score at that end in the second half, there's going to be uproar there.
Oh, it's all set up, isn't it? And party time if City get the point or the 3.
Here's Steve Harkness with the throw. Ward. Now Janssen first to it against Spencer Pryor. Duff available. But Edgehill and Pryor doing their duty. This is Janssen. Header on by Grayson. Cleared by Horlock. This is Flitcroft. Steve Harkness. Flitcroft again. McAteer available. This is Daly. Brooms to his left. Go to harrying well. No one there for the flick on from Ashley Ward, who was born in Manchester, a City trainee, but he played just once for them in the league. At the time when they were in the top division, and Ian Bishop, who's among City's substitutes today, was in his first spell at Main Road.
You have to go back, and it's a few years now, and you look at Rovers' record against City here. It's impressive.
McAteer just beyond his reach.
Getting good with Blackburn Rovers. McAteer came in right from the right wing, right across the City defence to make the run. The ball just slightly overhit, but Rovers trying to exploit them down the flanks.
The Rovers have won 5 of their last 6 home games against Manchester City, but City did win here at Ewood Park in the season when Blackburn won the championship. They were one of only 2 teams to do so that year, the others Manchester United. Here's Duff. Ward and Janssen up ahead, but he's gone for it himself.
Janssen split away to his left. He's on his right foot, maybe a little bit off balance. Janssen gave him a lovely option, peeling away left-hand side. But Duff, when he's running with the ball, he can be some player. All of a sudden, it's make your mind up time. Tries the right foot.
Well, as long as it's 0-0, events elsewhere are irrelevant to Manchester City, and looking to keep their destiny in their own hands. A goal would be one heck of a boost. Here's Kennedy. And here's McAteer. Just in case you are just joining us, it is still 0-0 as well between Ipswich and Walsall, which is the other game that affects City's destiny.
I spoke to Ray last night, Ray Grade, and you know he said, look, we need the points, as simple as that. We've got to pull one out of the bag.
Well, City know that Walsall are no pushovers. They had a difficult draw with them at Main Road. Here's Brooms.
Robert Taylor just gets off his knees. What a hero he could be against the youngster Brooms.
Taylor was the hero in the last match against Birmingham that sparked those scenes where the fans poured onto the pitch at the end, hoping the following day for an Ipswich slip-up that never materialised. It's been a long week because Manchester City played on the Friday night and they've been itching to get involved in this game, and it shows.
Pryor just pushing up there at the right time. Janssen clearly offside. Spencer Pryor looks like he's going to get a goodbye, but Janssen will make him work this afternoon. It's warm out there, it's bobbly.
Pryor, who was signed by Derby as a replacement for Christian Daly, who's with the opponents today. Daly just watching that float over his head back to Kelly. Pryor this time up against Ward. And Ward was backing into him.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Ashley Ward, bustling striker. Just saying to Terry Hilbron, no way, it was a bit of both.
Terry Hilbron has gone through the whole season so far without having to produce a red card. I wonder if he can maintain that record in this powder keg atmosphere today.
I think the problems will come, Rob, if Rovers score first.
Duff,
you know, when he's on his game, this fella, what a left foot he's got, runs at defenders with pace, he packs a punch, can hit the ball.
Well, the attentions of the Ipswich fans will be on their own game, but I'm sure they would be heartened by Blackburn's performance so far had they been viewing this. Flick on by McAteer, and the arm was raised by Tiato.
Spencer Pryor just took a knock in his instep as well there from Janssen. You see, well, I think Terry's given it for the sort of lunging challenge from Tiato. Strong player. City, you look at them in the air, Rob, not bad at all. Pryor, Gota, big fella Taylor, Jobson, of course.
David Dunn can hit them, and he might be the favourite to have a go from this sort of range, but Duff is there too. But it's left for Dunn, straight into the wall. Back to Grayson. In the direction of Ward. It's Jobson with a header clear. Gary Flickcroft. Covered by Richard Edgehill. Whitley was warned of the rush by Dunn.
It's good pressing from Dunn, isn't it? Any Ipswich fans watching, well, they'll be delighted with Blackburn's effort here.
Good player David Dunn, hoping to be part of the England under-21s summer European Championship campaign. Nil-nil on a tense afternoon. Manchester City requiring a point to get back in the Premiership. With Blackburn doing their level best to dismantle them.
Great challenge from Horlock, brilliant.
And here's Jamie Pollock.
Sean Gota, his arm up, looking for far post ball. Pollock, again, it's not easy conditions out there. It's bobbly. You see Pollock whitening his brow. It's warm down there. But Gota, what a season he's had as well.
28 goals from Sean Gota have been a key factor in keeping Manchester City in the race. There's Ward. Now Whitley. Cleared by Horlock.
Rovers fans are on his Rob. There's only one Jack Walker as a shout.
Indeed, we make no apology in terms of footballing metaphors for using the words fight and battle, but there is nothing compared to the fight and battle being faced by Jack Walker at the moment, and I'm sure the whole of football joins us in wishing him a speedy recovery.
Yeah, here we are.
Here's Horlock, and that was right on the edge. It was David Dunn's challenge.
Dunn's furious, Rob, but I tell you what, Terry Hilbron could easily have put the whistle to the mouth here. Have a look at this. Horlock gets the touch, but he dives. Great decision from the referee. Great decision. And that's shocking. That's why Terry Hilbron's now giving him an earful.
And to have spotted it shows again why he's such a well-respected and admired referee.
I think Dunn's done ever so well there, Rob, without diving in.
Flick on by Janssen. Jobson covers against Ashley Ward. That's Tiato. Taylor up against Bruce. Here's Jamie Pollock.
Oh, good block from Hartness. City fans go crazy. Baying for a goal.
And this corner taking place right in front of them. Horlock with the kick. Gota getting in front of Kelly. But somehow the goalkeeper managed to get enough on it to clear. Here's Tiato. Taylor. Now Kennedy. Danny Tiato. This is Whitley. And here's Kennedy. Headed behind for the corner by Brooms.
Two strikers go to the near post. One had to stay. Kennedy is really coming alive now on the left-hand side. On the sweet left foot, both make a run to the near post, and there's nothing wrong with the ball.
It's produced another corner, and will Blackburn break under the weight of this Manchester City pressure? Horlock's kick. And Kelly gets enough on it, but only to Jeff Whitley. Blocked. And blocked well by Brooms.
Good punch as well from Kelly.
But here's Kennedy, who's looking menacing.
Janssen back there getting his foot in. Kennedy, when he's on form, on that left-hand side, Rob, there's no one puts a better ball in.
Scored some pretty crucial goals this season as Mark Kennedy. Here's Ward.
There's good stuff out there. It's nerve jangling. But the 50-50s are they've been competed for in great fashion.
Sheffield United leading already relegated Swindon by 1-0. Wayne Quinn on 14 minutes, a scorer. No goal so far in the games which affect issues in terms of promotion, the playoffs and relegation.
Going through the stats, Rob. Here, Ewood, there's never been a goalless draw, have there, between City and Blackburn? That would do City today.
Held in towards Ashley Ward, and Jobson climbs to clear.
Goes Brooms, up goes Daly.
It's swung in by Duff, and Edgehill, the player behind it. Back in from McAteer. Ward.
He's so dangerous, Ashley Ward, he attacks it. Stayed really deep outside the far post. It's a lovely first-time ball in here. Sweeps in, McAteer, up goes Ward. Can't hit the target.
As well as being a former Manchester City player, of course, Ashley Ward is a former Norwich player, so there'll be a certain twist of irony for the Ipswich fans if he was to get the goal that helped them to automatic promotion. Here is Ward. And played forward well by Edgehill. Daly covering though against Sean Gota. Spencer Pryor's header, which has gone awry, and McAteer overhits it. Weaver saying it's his, and showing the great confidence that's marked him out as such a great prospect.
He's lucky he never ended up in row C there, because Ward normally doesn't take any chances. But as you said, Ashley Ward does give 100%, Rob.
Former great Manchester City striker himself, of course, Joe Royle, manager of the month for April. And maybe the curse of that award has been laid, because Kevin Wilson and Stan Turnant, who won it in the other divisions, both saw their teams promoted yesterday, Northampton and Burnley respectively. A trend that Royle hopes will continue. Pryor. And Sean Gota.
Possible handball, Rob, possible handball on Daly. He pulled his hands away quickly, City fans screaming. Again, it's difficult, it bounces. Gota just lets it come across his body. It looks from that angle, there's no contact. Look at Daly, shadowing him. Over he comes, and Daly pulls the arms away. Another good decision from Heilbronn.
Difficult day for decision making when you've got so many passionate fans in here trying to influence you. And even though Manchester City are the away team, their fans are really making their voices heard. Every decision vigorously contested.
City fans all over the ground as well, Rob. The stewards and police are having a little job relocating them.
Yeah, it's not a day when you'd want to be a steward or a policeman, I think. Here's Dunn with the free kick. Here to Flitcroft. Dunn. To hold off Pollock. Flitcroft. This is Duff. Taylor battling hard against him, but Duff got away.
What a let-off for City. Beautiful swinging ball. Watch Brooms get up off the top of the crossbar. Weaver looks to the heavens. Fantastic chance. Unlucky from Brooms.
Well, a cluster of players went for that, but Marlon Brooms, who scored his only goal for Blackburn live on Sky in the match against Huddersfield earlier in the season, made a few Manchester City hearts skip a beat then. Here's Kennedy.
Oh, Rob, you wouldn't want to be a City or an Ipswich fan, would you, in a day like this?
Well, they'll be going through absolute agonies at the moment, just as they are at Portman Road, where it's still 0-0 between Ipswich and Walsall. Sure, they're trying to stay in touch with events at Portman Road here, but it must be exceptionally difficult to hear anything. Here's Taylor with a knockback. Flitcroft trying to get there against Gota. Back in from Edgehill. Gota and Taylor in each other's way.
Yeah, it's a couple of times now. Mind you, it was difficult, it was an early ball in, but Big Taylor working hard to close down the ball. 1 point would be enough. What a season they've had, City. Rob, I just feel sometimes when they haven't played well and we've been there, they've been gritty. They've somehow managed to get the result without playing well. That's been Ipswich's problem.
And that is usually the mark of a successful team, being able to grind out results. But whatever happens, it really has been an incredible season, bearing in mind they were only promoted via the playoffs after a late run of form last season. It was a very mediocre start to life in the second division for them last year. The ball from Tiato to Pollock. And now Whitley, who's done well. And he's still got it.
Looked out to me, Rob. I think another good decision. That looked out to me. Until this fella's got through some work as well done. Pollock was just a little bit late giving Whitley the ball here. But Whitley does well. Does this just roll out? Terry Heilbronn right in the spot. There. Very tight. Now Terry Heilbronn almost just a couple of City fans having a go, but look at these guys in the bank, and what a view they had. The Brooms header hitting the bar. Their hearts must have been in their mouths.
But every time City are attacking, they're having to guess by the crowd's reaction inside the stadium as to what is happening, because that's the end of the pitch they can't see.
Look at that, Rob, as well. Almost half an hour gone. This game is just flying by. So much at stake.
Brooms there, cleared by Spencer Pryor. Here's Taylor. Horlock had made the run, covered well by Brooms. Grayson. Nice touch from Ward, and McAteer has managed to get in behind Danny Tiato. And now beats him off. Janssen!
Chance, great refereeing again, let the game play. Tiato definitely caught him. Janssen all alone. Great flick from Ward, wasn't it? The ball into the box. Janssen goes for the far post, doesn't get enough on it.
He scored one league goal here in the last 15 months, Matt Janssen, and there is some speculation this might be his last game for Blackburn Rovers. He's been persistently linked with a move to Rangers. Pryor. That was Jobson.
Well, with the surface, Rob, Bobley. That's it. If you're not sure, put it out. Regroup. Sometimes it's not pretty, but it's effective.
Well, all the crucial games in the First Division are as they started at the moment, which is good news for Manchester City and Birmingham and Huddersfield, and bad news for Walsall.
He thought this was in. Pryor powers it out, but what about this for a strike? It's always gone away from Weaver. Once again, off the crossbar. Good header, the touch in the chest, the finish. Looks to have beaten him again. Unbelievably bouncing to safety. City fans once again. Look to the heavens.
Well, the margin between success and failure can so often depend on the width of a post or the crossbar. You turn your mind back to last season when Wolves almost denied Bradford promotion when Paul Simpson hit the post, and Ipswich must be wondering if it's going to be the same story again. Here's Mark Kennedy. Horlock. Certainly recent history favours Manchester City.
It's great stuff from Kennedy. Great close control.
Here's Kennedy.
He wants to get one on his left peg, Rob, but silky skills there from Kennedy. Just unfortunate for City, it falls on his right foot. Look at the time he's got. Suddenly says, why not? 30 yards out. Pulling it.
Joe Royle hoping to finish the day as he started it in second place. This the third season running that the second promotion spot has gone to the last day. And in those last 2 years, the teams that started second, Middlesbrough and Bradford, went up with victories. Edgehill, cleared by Gary Flickcroft. Well, they're not too far apart, are they, Joe Royle and Graham Souness, who are great friends, and they do have a casual arrangement to meet up at some point now that Souness is back in the country and back in the area, although they haven't got round to it as yet. And of course, all friendships were on hold this week anyway. Good run this from Robert Taylor.
Big fella was trying to get it on his left foot. Long way out, no problems for Kelly.
And the ball is played through to McAteer. And Weaver got something on it, but it squirms away.
Well, the furious City defenders looking at the linesman, screaming at him. But suddenly McAteer gets in behind him. Pryor can't keep up with him. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know what Tiato's on about, but Weaver seems to take ages in dealing with this. McAteer, forceful run. Pryor's got to be careful here. Gets the strike away, and Weaver almost fumbles it wide.
The corner played short. It's done. In comes Whitley. And digging in there is Duff Tiato. Well, his hackles have been raised. He's a fairly uncompromising character anyway, as John McCarthy found to his cost.
That's because he was screaming at the linesman, Rob. He's frustrated. They try to play the offside. It wasn't offside, no doubt about it, but Tiato really goes in here high, too high. Terry's just saying, hey, come on, calm down, son. Again, Terry Hilbron taking this in slow and saying, hey, I know there's a lot at stake here, mate, but calm down.
Here's Horlock. Edgehill. That's Christian Daly. Kevin Horlock. Taylor. Tiato. Kennedy. Cleared by Daly.
What a match. Kennedy putting one just wide. Rovers hitting the bar twice. Still 0-0. That would be enough, though. I have to say, Rob, I got slaughtered outside. Ipswich connection.
Oh, you get used to that, Murray. Tiato. Lovely touch from Gotek.
Daly sharp getting across, but what about Weaver in goal? Heroics again. What a strike this is. Brilliant from Damien Duff. Lovely little clip. Half cleared. McAteer comes on, smashes it. Another good stop from the youngster. You can see Rovers 9 against 4. On target, well, double. 4 against 2. 2 on the crossbar. But Weaver again in inspired form.
Kennedy was stuck on the ground when Grayson was trying to get the ball off him. Nicky Weaver has made some vital saves. I wonder how many points those have been worth if you totted them up during the course of this season. Now there's been a crucial goal affecting the playoff area, and it has come at Craven Cottage, and it has come for Fulham, and it's Lee Clark who has put Fulham ahead there against Huddersfield, and that means that at the moment Huddersfield drop out of the playoff area, because a draw would be good enough for Bolton, provided Wolves don't rattle up a few goals at Port Vale.
Who'd have thought it, Rob, after beating Charlton at the Valley?
Absolutely incredible. And who would have thought as well that Bolton would revive themselves so magnificently after their previous visit to Wembley when they lost in the FA Cup semi-final.
Joe Allen must really like to be sitting there saying, come on boys, just give me one, give me a goal.
Is it going to be another day where fortune comes to their aid? Weaver's made some vital saves. His goal frame has been rattled twice.
Weaver's the cry from the City fans, no wonder.
The Blackburn fans were jeering him after that kick. And from the throw-in, Weaver's goal comes back under pressure. Janssen. Oh, and Weaver forced into action again, most surprisingly.
So Janssen, he's getting in the box, Rob, he's teasing defenders. Go on, you know, come near me and I'll go down. Just on the edge of the box, fires one across, and Nicky Weaver, off balance. This could have been disaster for him. Gets a good punch on it.
Worrying times for Manchester City. Dunn gets it across this time. Daly led the charge to get in. It's cleared in the end by Robert Taylor. Well, Manchester City started this game brightly, but Blackburn really are doing a sterling job for Ipswich, the other team in the race.
Look at Dunn's face, he's furious. Mind you, Whitley's working up and down, and Edgewill down this right-hand side, really working hard for the cause.
Do remember, though, that a Blackburn win in itself wouldn't guarantee Ipswich promotion. They'd still have to beat Walsall, and it's 0-0 there at the moment. But Ipswich, we understand, are having the sort of luck that Blackburn are, and they have just hit the bar. There's Flitcroft. Cleared by Tiato. Brooms. Spencer Pryor.
Now Horlock a little bit late again. No yellow again. Terry keeping the cards in the top pocket.
Stockport, having led Nottingham Forest, are now trailing 2-1. An own goal from Taylor, who's on loan from Blackburn after 37 minutes. And Tranmere 0, Crystal Palace 1. Hayden Mullins getting the goal there.
Just wonder if he'll be at Palace next season, Rob.
Well, they were forced to sell Matt Jansen. Backheader here from Daly, and then did he pull back Robert Taylor? The referee was a long way off, but saw that he did.
He definitely caught him here, Rob. This is going to be the first yellow. But Taylor wouldn't have got away from Daly. Sorry, I'm saying Daly. It's Hartness, isn't it? You can see, but Big Taylor, he's, you know, to be fair to him, he's not the fastest, he's not the quickest. But Hartness, that was a mistake. Poor header back.
And he's been booked.
Kennedy with his left foot. Horlock can strike them too.
And Horlock hits this one. Kennedy again.
So Kelly's done well, hasn't he, on crosses. Good talking from the goalkeeper.
Well, Harkness was booked for giving away the free kick, but he defended against the eventual effort from Horlock.
He's lucky he had another man back as well, Rob. And he would have been in serious trouble.
McAteer. First touch just letting him down.
This is always going to be tense, wasn't it? After screaming like mad for the first 10 minutes, City fans just taking stock here, realising maybe fortunate to be 0-0.
Well, Joe Royler was overwhelmed by the level of support they still achieved when they were in the second division, said it must be a crusade, and is the crusade to reach its culminating moment here. Another score from the first division. Crystal Palace now 2 up. Dean Austin getting the second at Prenton Park.
Disappoint John Alton's that role. Last game at home. Great season for Tranmere. About that, Joe Royal passive, just sitting there. It's a good flick from Ashley Ward, but what about the finish? This is brilliant from Jansen. On his left foot, cushions it on the chest, lovely flick, and just guides it in the far corner. This time Weaver can do nothing about it. Matt Jansen, left foot, beautiful strike, 1-0.
Joe Royal wonders. Those fans wonder.
What a time to score as well, Rob. Right on the buzzer, right on the stroke at half-time. Now you hear the Rovers fans. You have to say it's deserved, though.
And now City really have to come out of the blocks. Horlock with a free kick. Now Tiato. The cross is in there towards Spencer Pryor.
Yeah, just couldn't get above it to head it down. Pryor, who is so dangerous. It's a decent ball in the box. Tiato with the right foot. Look at Pryor, almost a standing jump above Brooms. No problems for Kelly's, back the other end. Ward with a little flick, but Jansen just lets it drop enough and guides it past Nicky Weaver.
Matt Jansen, a man who once nearly joined Manchester United, as he consigned Manchester City to the playoffs. That goal in itself won't do that. Ipswich still need to beat Walsall, but Blackburn are flying, and Dunn hits another one.
Again, great work from Jansen. All those months ago, Rob, up at Carlisle, we said what a prospect this youngster is. And again, this time doing super work on the ground. He's got Dunn to his right. Dunn can't hit them, just drags it, gets power, but off target.
Suddenly, I wonder if he'll be more interested in events at Portman Road. He'll be concentrating for the moment on the team talk that he'll deliver in half a minute or so's time. And it's added to the tension of the occasion.
Sparkling 45 minutes for me. Tension-packed, action-packed. Crossbar hit twice. City had a good chance. And then Jansen opening the scoring. Can City come back?
And here's Ashley Ward.
Rovers are playing out their skin here, aren't they? They're giving all. That's That's what a manager like Graham Souness installs.
There'll only be one additional minute in the first half, and here is Damien Duff. And Kennedy relieved to relieve the pressure. Grayson.
And Daly smashed into Gota there. Game goes on.
It's Duff, and Harkness has got forward. Edgehill wins the throw.
Rovers are just attacking everything, aren't they? Flying into challenges. You'd think they'd a chance of going up.
They've been stung by criticism of their season, in which there's no doubt they have underachieved. They're on their third manager of the campaign. They would have expected to be the ones coming into this match challenging for promotion, not Manchester City, who'd only been promoted from Division 2 last season.
See that back pass there, Rob, the bobble. Kelly really had to keep his eye on it.
Well, is it now going to happen for Ipswich? They still need to score against Walsall, but Blackburn are doing everything they need to on their behalf. Marlon Broom's one of two players to hit the woodwork, the other being David Dunn, before Matt Jansen, just 3 minutes from half-time, got a goal that could be priceless for Ipswich. It came from a long throw-in. Jansen left free. A devastating finish past Nicky Weaver, who'd previously been unbeaten and made some crucial saves. It's an anxious half-time break now, pondering on the possibilities of what might happen at Portman Road, and suddenly they'll be more interested in what their radios are telling them than what's happening on the pitch. 1-0 to Blackburn at half-time. Farewell it could be from Matt Jansen if that's his last goal, as the speculation continues linking him with a move to Rangers. He's the man who's beaten Nicky Weaver, who previously had beaten out some good efforts by Blackburn, but the weight of pressure undoubtedly will be on his goal. Look at him praying. And Joe Royle, who usually manages to hide his emotions a little better than Nicky Weaver, has come down to the bench for the second half. Jason McAteer and David Dunn get the second half underway. As things stand, Manchester City are still in second place in the table. And remember, when Blackburn won the Premier League title, and we're a week short of the 5th anniversary of that win, they did so with a defeat on the final day. They lost at Liverpool, but it was the fact that Manchester United didn't win at West Ham that clinched it for them.
This is where they've got to be careful. City giving free kicks away. Duff is so strong as well. He's got lovely feet, but he's strong. And up come the big boys again, Brooms and Daly.
Curled in by Dunn, and Jansen just got the merest of flicks to that.
It's incredible that Jansen, there's not a lot of them yet. He's had 2 good chances with his head. Again, whipped in, lovely ball. Jansen with just a deft of the touches. And if that's on target, the pace on the ball, that could have gone in. Jansen again a threat.
Jansen and his strike partner Ashley Ward have been relegated from the Premiership in each of the last 2 seasons. Ward with Barnsley and Blackburn, Jansen with Palace and Blackburn.
David Dunn's in trouble here. A little bit late again. I think it's Horlick is down there. And I think this is going to be a yellow card. Just a little bit late, but he's so fired up. Just catching Horlick. It's the elbow Terry Heilbron saying to him, Rob, that's a yellow.
And Terry Heilbron now above his average. He's only averaged 1 yellow card per league game. Kevin Horlock, the victim of the challenge that has led to the caution for David Dunn.
Now that challenge there is a type that Graham Souness was sitting there purring. No doubt about that.
And a Manchester City change already. And Ian Bishop is the player coming on in place of Jamie Pollock. Very quick change in just the 3rd minute of the second half. But Bishop, who's coming onto the field now, will be 35 on the day of the First Division playoff final. His task is to ensure that Manchester City aren't in it by going up automatically. Edgehill, who played for Manchester City the last time they were in the Premiership. Ian Bishop, of course, played for them when they were in the top division in the late 80s. Here's Kennedy.
If Ipswich do get a goal at Portman Road, you'll hear it right away around this ground. Radios everywhere. Yeah, handball there from Daly. Referee says no.
Here's McAteer, and Janssen is free, and Edgehill has to get across to cover him, and does. Here's Duff. Dunn. McAteer. This is Brooms. Harkness. Flitcroft. Broken up by Jobson. This is David Dunn. Oh, just beyond Janssen's reach.
Super stuff again from Dunn. Little disguise. He looks away as he plays this ball. You see Ward's in a central position. Janssen finds space again. He does that so well.
Still 0-0 between Ipswich and Walsall. Ipswich will have to score to make themselves masters of their own destiny. As it stands, Manchester City, despite trailing here, will be going up. And I'm sure there'll be no shortage of people willing to pass on to Joe Royle details of events at Portman Road. McAteer, Flitcroft, header back from Tiato. Five minutes into the second half here, and as it stands, Manchester City will go up in second place in the table. Ipswich need to win.
Showing that possible handball at Portman Road. I think maybe Marcus Stewart just give the goalkeeper a little push. I think that's what the referee gave the free kick for.
There's Christian Daly. This is McAteer.
The problem City have got here, Rob, is Janssen's making great runs right along the line, and we know City like to push up and play high, but Janssen's bending his runs.
Edgehill. Brooms with a clearance. Edgehill.
Good strength from Edgehill.
Now Bishop gets into the action. Jeff Whitley.
I tell you what, this fella's impressed me again. He's got through some work done. Super.
And Bishop here's curled it round to Horlock, who's looking for Gota.
Good challenge from Brooms again. Gota goes down, feeling the back of his head. Young Brooms, good challenge. But now City, it's caution to the wind time. Bishop, we know, will create. Good first time ball. Brooms in with a challenge into the back of Gota. Goal kick.
Well, Paul Dickoff managed to turn things around at Wembley after they'd been 2-0 down, and his introduction is imminent.
Now it's the Rovers fans. They're beginning to have a little go. They've heard the news from Portman Road.
All smiles for the Blackburn fans.
See, cheers all round. City fans have got to get behind their side now. Listen, the cheers going round here. Incredible.
They're well aware of what's going on if they can strain their eardrums to hear the news. Sean Gota is all right to carry on after the blow to the head. And we can show you now how Ipswich established that lead against Walsall at Portman Road. It came originally from a corner, and David Johnson was the man who was there to get the crucial goal, his 22nd of the season.
Talking about crucial goals, Rob. Here comes a wee man for City.
Yes, while David Johnson and Ipswich celebrate that vital goal, Manchester City have brought on a man who gave them every reason to celebrate at Wembley. Paul Dickoff, who got the injury time equaliser, plus a penalty in the shootout against Gillingham, has now come on for Robert Taylor. Tiato can't really afford to play too much football against the harrying Ashley Ward.
City have got to get the game going again, haven't they?
One goal would do. A point would be enough to take them up because of their superior goal difference to Ipswich. That was Horlock. And now Damien Duff. Jobson. And this is Ian Bishop. Horlock. And now Dickoff looking to get away. Brooms comes across and Kelly hits it against him. And Dickoff has Gota to his right and can't supply him with the service he needed.
Dear, oh dear. Well, Kelly comes screaming off his line. Brooms didn't realise, he didn't know he was there. Oh, that could have ended in tears.
There's Gota. Horlock!
Suddenly City, couple of changes now, pushing forward, adventurous now. Horlock can strike them beautifully. He times his run to perfection here, on his left foot, and scuffs it wide. Dickoff, great run. Immediately Bishop finds Horlock, beautiful run, piercing run. Out comes Kelly, Brooms doesn't hear him, and Dickoff, right on the edge of the box, tries to hook it in with his right foot.
Bishop. Now Richard Edgehill. Dickoff.
Dickoff, he's a handful, isn't he? He was backing into Daly. Daly fell for the trap, put his arms round him. Terry Heilbron points, free kick. Oh dear, poor little guy.
Well, Gota thought about a quick free kick, but a more measured approach is opted for, and Horlock and Kennedy, Bishop and Edgehill also in attendance. It's Kevin Horlock against the wall, appeals for hands.
Smashed into Flitcroft.
Now Kennedy. Towards Bishop. Dunn. McAteer. Good pressure from City, but Dickoff and Flitcroft really getting involved with each other and then counting to 10 before getting involved in any sort of confrontation.
Dickoff's incredible, isn't he? He always adds something to the match.
Well, the changes made so soon by Joe Royle, both tactical, and Dickoff coming in, sure to fire things up. He's won a throw in there.
Again, the Rovers tackling, there's no holding back. And the prayers are coming out. Just one goal would be enough.
It's Spencer Pryor's throw. It's cleared by Christian Daly. Only to Danny Tiato. Horlock and Jobson are both in there.
Brilliant from Ashley Ward, that's excellent.
53 goals in 107 appearances for Sean Gota, who wasn't always Mr. Popular with the City fans. But he may well just have made himself a legend in Manchester City's history. A checkered history in recent times, but now they are back in pole position in the promotion race. Suddenly, it's gloom again at Portman Road.
That's frightening. Frightening. Twice in the first half, twice in the second. Ashley Ward, and then a fantastic strike from Janssen, but Gota dreaming of playing against United next season.
His former club. Well, that's how they stand now, level on points, but Manchester City's goal difference is so superior that unless Ipswich suddenly start rattling, Gota gets it across again, and Kennedy finds his route to goal is blocked.
Tell you, when City scored there, when Gota tucked it away, there's City fans everywhere here at Ewood Park.
Well, this really is the major change that Joe Royle has brought about in this team. Whereas once when they conceded a goal, they would cave in. Now they battle on. 5 times already this season they've been behind and come from a deficit to win. Are they going to do it again? A draw anyway will be good enough. But Ipswich must be really cursing their luck. 4 times Blackburn have hit the woodwork. Dunn has done it. Brooms, Ward and Janssen have all rattled the Manchester City goal frame. This is McAteer. Ward.
Oh, what a game this is now. Fantastic. What a game.
It's been the usual sea change of emotions on the final day.
Sean Potter as well. They said he couldn't do it at this level.
Blue Moon, is it rising all the way to the Premiership? Confident handling again from Nicky Weaver, and a crucial goal in terms of relegation at Oakwell, and it has come for Drew Alexandra and Neil Sorville in his second goal with the club. What a second spell with the club, what a rocket of a goal that is, and if Crewe hold on there, a victory would make them safe.
Joe Royals down off the bench now. Clenched fist, that's the goal he needed, that's what he wanted. Can Rovers come back in it?
As it stands then, Manchester City are going up with Charlton. Bolton will occupy the last playoff place, and Walsall are heading for the exit door from Division 1. But it's changed so many times already that who would bet against another twist in the tail? Here's McAteer. Edgehill beaten to it by Janssen. He's really been lively and sharp this afternoon. And here he is again. Flitcroft. Now McAteer. This is Janssen. Challenged by Ian Bishop. Tiato really there. Caught by Flitcroft.
Wow. Again, the commitments there from Rovers. Tiato, he caught Flitcroft a few moments ago with a fantastic challenge, but he absolutely gets poleaxed. Flitcroft, ex-City player. Well, he's got a Rovers badge on his heart this afternoon. What a game. Competitive or what?
Joe Royal just talking to the 4th official, Phil Richards. And they're preparing to party inside and outside the stadium. The goal that Gota scored at the end that they can see.
There's City fans everywhere here.
It's an Ewood Park takeover. As one of their fans said to us before the game, even the sky today is sky blue. Could be a sunshine day for Manchester City, a recovery that started at Wembley back in May, now on the brink of being completed.
What are the Ipswich fans thinking, Rob? 4 times the woodwork. Unbelievable.
I think they're thinking they want the goals wide. Here's Edgehill.
Rovers will not give up without a fight here. There's no love lost between these clubs.
The latest First Division score, Nottingham Forest finishing on a high. It's a second own goal, that. Mike Flynn on 55 minutes. And 2-1 to Swindon at Sheffield United. Grazioli for Swindon, who are already relegated.
I have to say, Rob, I think Dickov, his introduction here has really sparked Manchester City.
Changes that have...
It's the City fans now that are singing. Joe Royal saying, calm down. Incredible. Blackburn have defended really well. You can't let the ball bounce like that. There's no talking. And the ball's momentum takes it into the net. Kelly's stranded. No talking. Or in this din. Perhaps Daly couldn't hear him. Disaster for the Scottish centre-half.
Joe Royal has immediately issued a warning to calm things down. But the reality of it is that Blackburn now have to score 2 goals to ensure that Ipswich are promoted, no matter what happens at Portman Road. What a fight back this has been by Royal side.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Johnson scores at Portman Road, doom and gloom, and suddenly a couple of subs come on, 2-1 up.
Well, Royal has often joked, hasn't he, that City have to do things the hard way, and they made it difficult for themselves early in this game when they conceded that goal to Matt Jansen just before half-time. But what a recovery. We should know better than to write them off now. Flitcroft. This is Grayson. And there's Duff. And Ward was lining up a spectacular one, and Harkness did, but Ward, in going for the ball, caught Spencer Pryor.
He went for the scissor kick, Rob, but Pryor's brave in there. Another good ball in the box. Far post headed in, look at the scissor kick. Boom, right into the ribs of Spencer Pryor.
Well, he's had an unbeaten record, Spencer Pryor, since he joined Manchester City. It was on the line earlier. But now it's turned around thanks to the man that he replaced at Derby, Christian Daly.
Wow, it's just lack of understanding, lack of talking. Daly desperately tries to get back there. No chance. Dickoff wheels away. Kelly stranded. City 2-1. Wow. They're partying tonight in Piccadilly, that's for sure. All around Manchester. For once, it's the blue half are going to enjoy themselves tonight.
Well, they're conditioned to expect drama on the last day. It's happened that way for the last 2 seasons, one in which they were relegated, one in which they were promoted via the playoff.
Hey Rob, you can't write them off, can you, Manchester City? You just can't afford to do it. And we said early in the season when they weren't playing well, they still somehow they ground the result out. And Pryor's got a problem here.
Well, even their own fans were writing them off when they were 2-0 down at Wembley back in May, but Joe Royle kept the faith then. He does have a problem here, of course, though, in that he's already used a couple of his substitutes. He's got Lee Brooks and Danny Granville still on the bench.
Well, this might just suit Joe Royle, you know. A few minutes break here. City fans congaing over on the far side. And the stewards have just got to be very careful here, because after there's a lot of Blackburn fans over there as well. They have to be a little bit sensible and careful.
Well, let's hope that it is just a conga of celebration and not one of provocation. There's Gota. Flitcroft. Jobson. That was Bishop's flick. Daly. Kevin Horlock. And more bad news for Walsall, and that bad news comes in the form of a goal for West Bromwich Albion against Charlton. Richard Snakers hasn't scored too many this season, but he's got one there that could just be enough to keep West Brom in the First Division. Snakers scores, it's West Brom 1, Charlton 0, and with Crewe leading as well, Walsall's task made all the more difficult. They are trailing in Ipswich.
Tell you what, Rovers still taking things quick here, Rob. They're looking for quick free kicks, quick throw-ins. Rovers are not down yet. No, they're not, you know, playing for pride here in front of the new manager, but at the same time, they're still having a go here. They're not enjoying this. Charlton celebrated, now City are celebrating.
Well, it was a season when, with the money that they have at their disposal, everyone expected Blackburn to be bouncing straight back. But their promotion dream went flat. First Brian Kidd went. Then Tony Parks, originally put in charge at the end of the season, was replaced by Graham Souness.
Horlock's just got to be a little bit careful. He's had a couple of lunging tackles, Horlock. But what a position the Manchester side are in now. And how Joe Royle's turned this around. Fabulous.
That's Grayson. Cleared by Jobson to Bishop. Back by Harkness, but Dickoff never gives up a course. It's Duff. It's Gary Flitcroft, the former Manchester City man.
Nicky Weaver, arms in the air, no problem at all. Knew that was sailing over. After great play from Duff, Flitcroft's final ball not good enough. I can't help thinking, Rob. Ashley Ward, magical skills from Jensen. It could have been a dreadful day for the blue side of Manchester.
It could have been a hammering. Blackburn have hit the woodwork 4 times. Well, they're in no mood to halt the party, even though there is still 17 minutes to go, and they've learned from bitter past experience that you should never take anything for granted. Jobson here facing a challenge from Ashley Ward.
Ward's not giving up, is he? Jobson's got to be in his toes. But can Rovers get 2? That's what Ipswich fans are pondering. Joe Roy, you've got to be delighted for him. Here's a heart for Willie Donachie, both celebrating. But Blackburn now beginning to fold. Dickoff again's causing problems in there. But when it falls to the left foot of Kennedy, he doesn't miss from there. That's the Premiership for me. That's it next season for City. What a finish. Cool as you like on his left foot. And the bench goes berserk. Alex Stepney, he'll be playing against his old club next season. And Joe knows the dream is there. It's all over for Ipswich.
Well, Blackburn really took the game to City. Ipswich can have no complaints about that. They could have scored 5 goals at least. But Manchester City, with their great character and resolve that wasn't there when Joe Royle took over just over 2 years ago. But that great steely determination has turned a 1-0 deficit into a 3-1 advantage.
And the momentum of City now is frightening, incredible.
Here's Duff. Back across towards Ward. Pryor hacks at it. Warlock knows that he can afford to leave it.
What a dream come true this is. You go back to that Gillingham game at Wembley, and now City on the verge of a return to the Premiership. Kennedy, for me, has been the star man this year. I know Weaver's got a lot of acclaim, and what of Sean Goater as well? These people weren't too sure about him at the start of the season. 29 goals, they sure are now. Kennedy arriving late, drills it on his left foot past Kelly, and City back in the Premiership, surely.
And what a run it was after it. I'm surprised that he had the energy on such an energy-sapping day as this, but he went straight to his manager, the manager who added him to the squad that won promotion at Wembley last year.
Quite incredible scenes as well, Rob. All the City fans in the bank now are allowed in. They're all streaming down from the hill to join in this party atmosphere. There they come. They can't believe it. I wouldn't want to be that assured.
Here's Jobson.
Wow. You think back. What a game, what a first half. Rovers, how can they be behind? It's just frightening.
Well, Ipswich will be wondering that, Blackburn are wondering that, and yet now Manchester City really could run away with it. Bishop. Here's Gota. It's Whitley with Dickoff waiting, and Kennedy's there again, but doesn't reach him this time. McAteer ensures that.
Well, McAteer's just kicked the advertising board there in pure frustration. Look at the City fans, they're everywhere. Well, what a party tonight.
They may be kept from the gates of Ewood Park, but the gates of the Premiership are opening up to Manchester City now. No question about that. Jobson.
Ipswich should be dreaming perhaps now of a Wembley playoff final to make their season. It all looks so rosy when Johnson banged it in. What a noise here.
to the finale and the final whistle. Can Manchester City add a fourth that would finally bury Blackburn? Jobson's up there. Bishop is tearing in to get there as well. And there's been another goal that affects the playoff race. It's again in the match between Fulham and Huddersfield. A challenge there on Barry Hales that led to the award of a penalty at Craven Cottage. And Lee Clark, who'd scored earlier in the match from open play, stepped up to make no mistake. Fulham 2, Huddersfield 0, and as it stands, Huddersfield, who've been in the top six for a lot of the season, will be out of the top six at the end, and Bolton will be in the playoffs.
I tell you what, I don't think there'll be too much cheer as well. Ipswich-Bolton, the thought of that one from the Ipswich fans.
Kennedy's replacement is Danny Granville.
They were saying before, weren't they, as Granville gets a piece of this action that, you know, City fans, please don't come on the pitch. You try and stop a bit. Wow, if anyone deserves it, this fella for me, Dickoff. You know, this is just what he's all about, isn't it? Head, now another touch, he knows he's getting closed down, finds his way in the box, and a sweet finish with the right peg. Paul Dickoff, his character, he loves this club, City. Now he gets what he deserves. Fantastic endeavour, the quality finish with the right foot, the composure, and then he goes berserk with the celebrations.
And who could blame him? Paul Dickoff scores his first league goal away from Main Road in 20 months since a 2-2 draw at Northampton back in September '98. But he scored such a crucial goal at Wembley, and he scored in the penalty shootout that day as well against Gillingham. That really was the defining moment in the turnaround of this huge club. And he scored again here, and their climb back to the very top level.
It's not just Ipswich fans are stunned. Blackburn Rovers fans around us, they just can't believe what's happening.
It's Janssen here with a free kick.
I've got a feeling the ball might not be coming back either too soon. Janssen, who's worked tirelessly, an absolute magical goal, and then his skill that hit the post was brilliant. Dickoff, how does he feel now? Bursting with pride. Grayson can't get there, but look at the composure. He slots it past Kelly, and boy does he deserve it. You think back to Wembley against Gillingham. The smile says it all.
A goal 10 minutes from the end of the match that seals Manchester City's place back in the Premiership, will rekindle all the old passions of the derby matches against Manchester United. And we've got news of another goal coming in from the Hawthorns. It looks like West Bromwich Albion have staged a last gasp escape thanks to their second goal against Charlton there from Bob Taylor. West Brom 2, Charlton 0. Surely now Crewe and West Brom are safe, and Walsall will go down. And of course it was Bob Taylor who scored the goal that knocked Ipswich out of the playoffs last year for Bolton. And the way things stand at the moment, it'll be Ipswich against Bolton in the playoffs again, and Barnsley against Birmingham.
Well, what do the Ipswich fans think, Rob? You know, it's the highs and lows of football. Goodness me. Johnson bangs it in, City losing. Now they've got to think about playing Bolton again. Tell you what, this fella has worked so hard. Janssen just getting a little touch ahead of Pryor there. And Spencer Pryor, what an afternoon for him as well, back in the Premiership.
Played 20 games there this season for Derby. Knew he was joining a club with the immense potential to be back there, and it looks as though his decision to join now will be fully vindicated.
George Burley's feeling rotten now, Rob. Wait, he sees this videotape before it hit the woodwork. He won't believe it.
And Duff it is who gets it across, but it bisects Brooms and Ward.
The Blackburn boys are trudging off home, shaking their heads. City fans are going to party the night away.
Well, there has been another goal at Portman Road. It may not be too significant for Ipswich in terms now of getting them automatic promotion, but This second goal of the match for David Johnson surely now seals Walsall's fate. And after their climb out of the second division with Manchester City last season, it looks as though Walsall are going back down. Janssen here with a strike. Doesn't catch Weaver on the hop, though.
Weaver dreaming of playing in the Premiership. Diving to his left from the impressive Janssen. Doesn't really catch it, Janssen. A little bobble there. Deflection. No problem, Nicky Weaver. Think of future England squads as well, Rob. Weaver in the Premiership, maybe Richard Wright still might play in it. He was saying it might just give him an advantage in Kevin Keegan's eyes. Joe Royle thinks he's good enough.
Well, he had a real worry about the playoffs, Nicky Weaver, in that he possibly wouldn't have been able to play for the England under-21s in their European Championships this summer had Manchester City been involved. Here's Dunn.
We spoke about Dunn, how good he played first half. He's devastated now. All he wants is the referee blow the whistle. Hartness shakes his head too.
Well, there has been a goal in the match at the Reebok Stadium. And this could be the goal that clinches Bolton's position in the playoffs. And the man who scored it is Dean Holdsworth. He's put Bolton 1-up against Norwich and put them in a great position to go back to Wembley so that he can erase the horrors of that miss in the semi-final against Aston Villa. And what a brave recovery to the end of the season it's been from Bolton in shaking off the disappointment of that defeat on penalties. As it stands then, Manchester City are just 4 minutes away from returning to the Premiership. Ipswich, Barnsley, Birmingham and Bolton will be in the playoffs, and Walsall has done there as an ambitious effort. Walsall will be joining Port Vale and Swindon in Division 2. It's cleared by Brooms.
Kennedy celebrating behind him. What a season he's had.
Well, he scored 4 times in City's last 7 wins, Mark Kennedy. Make that in 5 in 8 now. And Fulham now 3-up against Huddersfield. Bjarni Goldbeck getting the goal that finishes Fulham's season on a high, but means real disappointment for Steve Bruce's Huddersfield, who miss out on the playoffs. Headed by Horlock. Here's Granville. And again, Granville, the substitute. Dunn who's picked it up. Spencer Pryor. Ian Bishop.
Well, what a match it's been, Rob. We thought it'd be tension-packed. You know, a 0-0, and you know, and all of a sudden Rovers get the goal. City looked down and out, didn't they? And they could easily have been down and out. We've had everything in this game. Sensational.
There's Jobson. This is Dunn. Grayson cut up by Horlock. McAteer.
Well done, Terry Hilbron as well. He's handled this pressure pot game very well indeed.
What a sad loss he'll be to the league list of referees. I'm sure we will be seeing him in the playoffs, such as his standing in the game. Seems to be 4 minutes of injury time that he's indicating there. There's McAteer. Dunn. Challenged by Tiato. This is Flitcroft. Now Duff. Harkness moving up on the outside of him. It's Janssen. Blocked by Jobson. Duff.
Well, the Rovers fans, they're just looking at Terry Hill going, come on, ref, blow your whistle. Joe's there. The second one went in, he didn't celebrate too much. The third one and the fourth. That was it, Willie Donachie behind him. What a partnership that is.
Do you reckon this is the summit of his achievements? He had some pretty remarkable days at Oldham.
This is it. Don't worry about it. This is it. Look at the smile on him, Rob.
Here's Edgehill. Well, the Manchester City's manager's job really was a poison chalice when Joe Royle took it on. He's the fourth full-time manager they've had in the 4 years since they were relegated from the Premiership. They've had a couple of caretakers in that time as well, in the form of Asa Hartford, who's still on the coaching staff, and Phil Neal. But it's Joe Royle who's steadied them down, who's weeded out the dead wood, who's built a lean, trim squad. And it is a squad. There are players not out there today who've played their part in the comeback.
Tell you what, Rob, if I was a City player, I'd be playing outside left, right by that tunnel, to get straight down it.
This is Richard Edgehill. This is Bishop. Now Whitley. There was a huge outpouring of emotion after they'd beaten Birmingham in their last home game, and they, strictly speaking, had nothing to celebrate then. So what will the celebrations be like now that they have clinched it, as they surely have? Tiato. And they are back, no question. This is Whitley. I'm wondering now if Terry Hilborn may have to make a diplomatic decision about the time being added on, because one or two Blackburn fans have...
Not Blackburn fans, Rob, they're City fans in the Blackburn end. But Terry's got to just have a little think here. Maybe it is time to blow the whistle and get down that tunnel.
What's he given? Joe Royle keeping his cool. Let's hope the supporters do too.
What a result for him. You have to say, again, character. One down, the news, the players would know Ipswich were winning, guaranteed, and then suddenly...
The character and resilience that they've shown in the last 2 years. When Joe Royle took them over, they were a team on a nosedive to the second division. But now, with new heroes like Nicky Weaver, who came in at the start of the last campaign, Mark Kennedy, who's been added this year, Jeff Whitley, who's been with them through the bad times and the good, they have bounced back.
Rob, fantastic scenes. You have to say, who would have thought it? That Gillingham game, who would have thought it?
And thankfully,
Nicky Weaver
has made it back.
Definitely, I was worried out there, but Nicky Weaver, he shattered. Dickoff's a tough little character, but he just got swamped there, didn't he? And Gota, what a season that man's had. 29 goals, superb.
His was the crucial one that brought the breakthrough. When City were a goal down, it was Gota who got the leveller. And from there on, there could be only one winner. And the Manchester City fans are partying here at Ewood Park. This royal family has not just sat around doing nothing. They have really worked hard. They've toiled through difficult promotion campaigns, and Joe Royle now can be a very, very proud man.
Look at that. He's wrecked, isn't he? He's shattered.
He's spent around £8 million in resurrecting Manchester City's fortune, and you cannot begrudge him that smile.
Here's a Hartford in there. He'll be after the champagne, I know that. Brilliant. Great scenes. I'm sorry for Ipswich, of course. My team, but you have to hand it to City. Brilliant.
I know. Nicky Weaver, who's never played in the Premiership. He's played in every division except the Premiership. But now it seems he will get his opportunity to do that.
I hope Bentley's not got his best suit on there, because he's going to come out of that dressing room soaked.
Well, after all they've been through, you cannot begrudge the City fans their celebration. Well, at Portman Road, it's the same old story. The 4th year running that they will have to do it through the playoffs despite a victory that relegates Walsall. Richard Wright, who's been through it all before, George Burley, who's been through it all before, will have to do it again, and it's that major psychological barrier that they will have to overcome. But City fans can now plan their summer holidays without the worries of the playoffs. They have clinched automatic promotion, and a hero over the whole season has been Nicky Weaver, and he's talking now with Alan Bentley.
Nick, quite simply, what does this mean to you right now?
Oh, unbelievable. I mean, we could have said this the first day of last season when we were in the second division. I wouldn't have believed in the way the season's gone for all of us. It's been unbelievable. And as you can see, the celebrations are going to go on all summer, I think.
A few saves for you in the first half as well?
Yeah, I was quite pleased with the way I played in the first half. And luckily we kept it to 1-0, and it proved enough.
And then, I mean, at the end we saw you doing cartwheels.
Yeah, I did a bit earlier in the season. The gaffer had a go at me, but I don't think he can say anything now, can he?
About 2.5 years ago you were cleaning toilets in Mansfield. This is better, isn't it?
Oh.
Come here, you.
There you go, Jack.
So you owe me this one, you do.
I do.
Of all the games I've watched you this season, and this one, you made up for it.
I know. We haven't really played well. We haven't really played well in any of the games on telly this year, but we've got the important results, and we didn't deserve to win 4-1 today, but there we go. Delighted for everybody, the fans in particular.
Remember a game at the end of a few seasons ago when you played against Blackburn? You ran straight to Joe Roll, didn't you? I mean, what did that mean?
Yeah, I owe him a big thank you. Two people in my career have helped me so much. Mick McCarthy, everybody knows him.
Paul, let's bring you in.
Carry on.
Paul, you certainly know when to score your goals, don't you?
Yeah, I know people say this is my time of the season. Bit disappointed not to start today, but delighted, 1-0 down to come on, scored 4 goals. The main thing was just going up today.
Do you know where your last league goal away from Main Road came?
Couldn't tell you.
Tell you it was Northampton. Bit different, isn't it?
Not really bothered now, to tell you the truth. No, it's been a long time coming, but we knew it was going to be hard today, and to be fair, they battered us a bit in the first half. But I mean, it's great character in this team, and we showed it again.
Well done, Paul. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Well, that's the first shower Alan Bentley's had in more than a year. But delighted to get it, I'm sure, and the City fans are delighted to have invaded the pitch here and have staged an Ewood Park takeover. But what must that man be feeling now? Alex Stepney, who has played such a big part in Nicky Weaver's development. And
without a doubt, Rob. But Big Joe now, he's going to enjoy tonight, isn't he? Like these supporters, they're going to have an absolute ball. And then the serious thinking starts for Joe. How many of this team, this squad, does he keep? How much money has he got to spend this summer? It's not going to be an easy summer for Big Joe, but let's let him enjoy tonight.